Hey everyone, I just wanted to tell you about a cool new toy that I got from my Canon 7D. This is the Carry Speed VF-3 Viewfinder. Now I just got this viewfinder in the mail yesterday and I wanted to show you how it attaches to a Canon 7D. But before I get my camera out, I want to show you what pieces come with this viewfinder. First, there's this mounting plate. It just mounts directly to the bottom of your camera. There's also an Allen wrench if you don't have a screwdriver around. And then there's a carry strap and also the viewfinder itself. So here's the 7D I'm going to mount the viewfinder to, but also if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you also how this thing works on a 5D Mark II right here, and also a Rebel T3i, just so you can get an idea of what this viewfinder looks like when it's mounted to each one of these cameras. When you first take the VF-3 out of the box, you need to flip this mounting bracket around. Just slide this out. Hook this back in, and then tighten the screws back in. Next, you need to put the mounting plate onto the bottom of the camera, just like this. Now I don't tighten it right away, but I'll just leave it a little bit loose and you'll see why. Now that the bracket is on the bottom of my camera, I need to loosen up this screw right here first. Then take the viewfinder and just slip it in there. And while the mounting plate on the bottom is still kind of loose, I'll make some fine adjustments right here. Just make sure it's snug, the viewfinder is snug up against the camera. Then I'll take the Allen wrench and I'll just tighten that. Make sure it doesn't move around. Set that down and tighten this screw to make sure it's secure. And there it is. It looks pretty good right now, but if you need a few more fine adjustments, you can do that simply by adjusting these screws, loosening these up, and also the ones on the bottom. This one has already been set up for my camera, but if you loosen these, you can actually slide this thing side to side, or if you loosen the bolts on the side, you can also go up and down, but it's actually hitting my built-in viewfinder right now, so I can't really slide that up. So, but I'm just going to tighten these back up. One of the cool things about this viewfinder is that it has a built-in cover for the actual lens right here. So you can just simply open it up like that and close it. It's just a simple switch at the top of the viewfinder of the eye cup, and you can just open and close it. When you're not using the viewfinder, you can flip this up and use it as a sunshade when you're outside. Then just click it back in. Now before I move on to the other cameras, I just want to show you this one thing here. With this viewfinder on, if you have big fingers, it might be a little bit harder to access these buttons here on the side. Also, on this side, down here, and this is going to be a little bit of a problem on the 5D, as I'll show you in a minute. But you know, if you have big fingers again, it might be a little bit hard to access some of these controls here. One of the things I really like about this viewfinder is that I can use it on multiple cameras. So to switch this over to the 5D Mark II, all I have to do is undo this little screw here. Basically just take that off. Grab my 5D. Then just attach this base plate onto the camera. There it is. And I don't know if you can see this, but up here the viewfinder just slightly off, just because it mounts in a little slightly different place than the 7D, but that can be fixed easily. So I'm just gonna unscrew these, loosen this up, and also undo these screws on the other side. Line that up, tighten that. Now it's lined up perfectly. Now here's that problem I was going to show you on this 5D Mark II. With this viewfinder mounted on here, this on-off switch, the power switch, is actually really difficult to get to. Even though I have small fingers, I don't think I can even get my fingers in there to turn it on. But you can probably just loosen this up a little bit and you know, give you a little bit of room to turn it on, and then you can probably get your fingers in there and then mount this thing back on. But it's not as much of a problem to turn it off because the switch goes in the up direction, but to turn it on, I can't even get my fingers in there to turn it on right now. But that's just something to watch out for with this viewfinder. Now I'm going to take the VF-3 viewfinder off the 5D and I'm going to put it on the T3i. Okay, here's my T3i. I'm going to put the viewfinder on this thing also. Before I mount this on the T3i, I'm going to flip the screen out. Get it into position. Now I'm going to turn the camera over and put the viewfinder on. There it is on the T3i. Again, because this is a different camera, I have to make some slight adjustments with this viewfinder just to get it to fit perfectly. Now the controls on the T3i are a little bit easier to access. They're not blocked as much by the viewfinder, so you don't have as much of a problem with these controls when the viewfinder is mounted onto it. And there you have it. That's the CarrySpeed VF-3 viewfinder. For more information about this product, please go to therenderq.com and you'll find more pictures and links.